Hey guys, welcome back to my casino game series. Today is a very good episode of another game of a different type of poker called Texas Hold'em poker. Now this game plays a lot different than 5-card draw. So let us speak. Now. Intro music. Now you're ready. Intro music. Alright, let us begin. Remember, just like in 5-card draw, each player is given an equal amount of chips. But this time, in this game, you have to give one player the dealer button. This thing right here. This tracks who the dealer is. So I'll put him here. And into his immediate left receives a small blind, while the other player posts the big blind. And they have to put in chips. They're literally forced to bet before 2 cards can be dealt. Before cards can be dealt. Now, during the first round of betting, before the game begins, we have to make sure the small blind and the big blind actually gives us their money. Then we have to reshuffle it, and by using a standard 52 card deck of playing cards without jokers, shuffle the deck and deal this time in this game to 2 cards to each player, one at a time. These are known as their whole cards or pocket cards. Now, dealer sets the deck face down in front of them. Now, if you're ready, here we go. Now watch. Each player is going to take their hand and place it in front of them, while the dealer does the same. So now, the player to the left of big blind is the first one to act during the first round of betting. But guess what? There's a secret rule to this. If any players call the big blind, that means the big blind has an extra chance to raise. The big blind will be known as the live blind. But if the live blind checks, then the betting round ends. Otherwise, we enter the pre-flop betting round. So we have 3 options, just like the normal 3 options like a 5-card draw. Call, raise, or fold. So if you call, you're matching the big blind. You're matching the bet of the big blind. Or he can raise, which means set a new bet for everyone to match. The final option is the fold, which means you throw your cards away. And then, remember, the dealer acts first, then the dealer acts last. After the small blind is last, they distribute the same amount of money. We enter the flop round. The dealer takes the top card of the deck face down called the burn, and deals 3 cards to each player in the middle of the table, into the middle of the area. And then, these are called the flop. Now people have a 5-card hand. 2 in your hands, and 5 and 3 in the area. Then, the next round, then the betting round begins. Now, the player left of the dealer, just like in 5-card draw, is the first one to act. He can check, which means not betting anything, but staying in the hand. He's passing it on to the next player and don't even give a shit. Or he can bet, which means put some money in the table, in the betting pool. The final option is to fold, which is just those cards away. So let's see if anybody manages this bet. And you can also call, raise, check, bet, and fold. Oh, right. Once everybody's contributed the same amount of money, the chips are moved to the middle of the table, and then the next round, the turn round begins. The dealer burns the top card again, and puts up a face-up community card called the turn, or 4th Street. Now there are 6 cards available to make a 5-card poker hand. 2 in your hand, and 4 in the play space. You see? How cool is that? Now the turnaround begins. Remember, the small blind is the first one to act. And he checked and he called. But the big blind raised. And they called. And then someone folds. And then the dealer does the same raise. And he'll have to raise again the big blind, and then the small blind has to raise again. Now we got one more round. We got another round. Then the next betting round, which is the final round called the river round. The dealer burns the top card yet again, and deals a final face-up community card called the river, or 5th Street. And now they have to think about their betting decision. Now they gotta think about their final betting decisions. So the small blind bets, that's 50, 60 chips. And then the big blind calls, and the dealer calls. And then the player with the dealer button calls too. So this is like the second and third betting rounds. Now after all the bets have been made, it's time for showdown, which means we'll have to look at the 5, and so all players still in play reveal their whole cards and make their best 5-card poker game between the 2 whole cards and the 5 community cards. If that player's match, if that player wins that, since there's a high card in the field, this player wins. The rest lose. Because that's what poker is attractive. Because when you win big. You see? Win big. You see? But then, next, all the cards are gathered together. The cards are all given to the dealer, and the dealer rotates by one color, and so does the small blind and the big blind. So, but remember, I forgot to mention this in my poker 5-card draw video. If you run out of chips, you are eliminated from the game. The last player standing wins. And it's a good thing I already ranked the poker hand, so you don't have to worry about that. See you next time. Next video will be blackjack.